What's up internet? In this video we're gonna talk about the Split DPad mod from eXtremeRate. I've already got it installed. I've been playing around with it and I want to talk about how well it works. So to begin with, why would you need a Split DPad mod on the PS5 controller? Well, here I've got the official unmodded PS5 controller, and at first glance it looks like these are split D-pads. They're individual buttons, right? But actually that's not the case. This whole thing is actually one piece. So for example, if I press down but I press it toward the right side, the right button or the right direction will also be activated. So this causes a lot of accidental or missed inputs. And the Split D-pad mod solves that problem. So when I press down, it doesn't matter which side of the button that I press. It doesn't affect the other buttons. Now with this controller, I have no problems whatsoever with diagonals or directionals actually, because they're split. No problem at all. So this Split D-pad mod solves my biggest issue with the official controller. However, while it solves one problem, it creates another. And the problem I have with the Split D-pad mod is that motion inputs are not very good on this controller, and I'll tell you why. So for example, if I want to do a full circle, so I gotta go like this, right? However, if you look, the edges are raised up pretty high. And when I slide my thumb around, my finger gets stuck on the edges of these buttons. So it's practically impossible to do this very fast, unless you're somebody who just kind of rotate the D-pad like this and then you keep your finger toward the middle. But I'm not sure how many people actually use the D-pad like that, like a joystick, you know? I would assume that most of you guys would slide your thumb around like this to do circular motions. And this is very hard to do. So for example, I want to do a half. You see that? You see how difficult it is for me to do a half circle? It's next to impossible. Yeah, that's what I want to do. So I rarely get it. Now with the official controller, you don't have that problem. And the reason being, again, because once you depress one button, the other button is also depressed slightly. Right? So by the time you get to the next button, there's not much of a difference in terms of height between the buttons. You see that? You see how it kind of rotates, kind of like a plate, to make it easier to do circular motions on this controller. Another thing that I don't like actually is, check this out. I'm gonna kind of shake the controller. You can see this is kind of loose. You see how it kind of wiggles around? It just looks bad, you know? It wiggles, it wiggles, it wiggles. Knowing this, I wish eXtremeRate had made the buttons or the button's height a little lower. So when you go from one button to the next, your finger don't get stuck on the edges. Yeah, such a shame, you know? So if you're playing a game that requires a lot of motion inputs or circular inputs, I don't recommend this mod. However, for games like maybe Soul Calibur, where directionals and diagonals are important, then this is pretty good. Or maybe retro games is pretty good on this one, where it only requires you to do diagonals or directionals. Alright, that's it for me. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more, and take care now.